Hi everyone, so I'm going to be going over how to add Firebase to your Expo application. And I've already set up the Expo default app. If you want to know how to set up the basics of Expo, you can check out my other video. I'll put a link down in the description box below. So let me just test running this first. So I'm just going to open it up with my Android application. And it'll show up on the simulator on the right side. So there you go. We have this set up. It says open up app.js to start working on your app. And we have it right here. And this is the exact same message on the screen on the phone. So you can always check out my other video if you want to know how to get to this part. So let's actually create that Firebase application. So we want to first set up a Firebase folder. So let's create a new folder and we'll call it Firebase. And I'll label it as Firebase config.js. And we want to import a bunch of information. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the web browser and I'm going to open up Firebase and I'll move the screen over here so you guys could see. So I'm going to go to one of my already set up applications, just click on it. If you want to know how to set up Firebase, there's another video that I made on how to create a new project. But I'm going to go here and just click on that gear icon, project settings. And if I scroll down right here we have all the stuff that we need to add to the actual application. So let's copy this. And I'll paste it right here. I'm just going to remove all of the single line comments so then it's just a little bit more neater and clean here. And what I also need to do is install Firebase in this Expo app. So let me just check here. So I'll show you right here. All I searched for was Expo app Firebase install. That should be installed there. But it's usually the first one or two links at the top. And if I just click on it, it will lead me to the documentation in Expo and it'll tell me how I should install it. So I just need to grab this and I'll need to do a few more configurations, or it looks like it's actually exactly the same or almost the same. But let me go back here. And I want to first end the server. And then I'll install Firebase. So we just need to add a few more things here, and we just need to add the get auth from Firebase. And we'll just need to export it so then we can use it on the other pages. So now that we have Firebase set up, it should be in our package as well. Right here it says Firebase. So we know that it is installed as long as you check in your package.json. So what we need to do now is let's actually set up some sort of navigation first. So let's set up the navigation for the application, and we're going to have to first do a few imports. I'm going to just start off with the default template. So in the app.js, I'm just going to start completely blank and just begin importing a few things. And we're going to I'll create the page a little bit later. So let's first set up this navigation part here. And we will have to first set up the stack for the actual navigation. And we will set up the navigation container. And what I'll have to do next is I'm going to actually have to install a few things. For this navigation, it does require a few of these installations. So this is what I have to install, which is all of these different packages for screens and area context and masked view. And I'm just going to hit enter. I will put this in a README file if you guys just want to copy and paste that from the files when I host this on GitHub. Or when I add this on GitHub, then I'm just going to allow you to just grab the actual code. I'm just going to copy and paste this information over. So what I have here is I just have all the documentation in the README file as to what is being installed, so you guys could always go check it out. It will be in the GitHub repository that I will set up for this example. Now let's check out our application here. So we want to add a few pages in order to actually navigate and move around. So let us first create the actual screens. So we're going to right click, new folder, and call it screens. And in here, we're just going to say camera.js, or let's just set up one thing like login.js. And what we're going to do in the actual app.js first here, well, we're actually going to have to have two pages, so let me just create the other one, camera.js. So I have in the screens folder camera.js, and login.js. And let's actually just set up the basic template here. I'm just going to copy it over so it's faster. And this is for the camera right here. I'm just going to be importing just a few things. I'll just remove stuff I don't need. It's just something to say hello. I am on the camera page. And this navigation will be important once we actually start adding the navigation part. Let's also go to the login page as well. And I'm just going to copy the same template right here, paste that in. And I will come back to this page shortly. Let's first set up the app.js so we can actually move around and change pages. So right here in the navigator, we're just going to set up a few things. So I'm just adding on the different components or pages to the application here so we could change pages. And we still need to import them as well. That's why it's showing up as red. So right over here, let's import those pages or components. Now for your navigation, you should have something like this, where what we're doing is we're importing the login and camera pages or components here. And let me make sure I spell that properly. Screens. And what we're doing is we are just adding on these stack navigators because they're part of the navigation in Expo. And what we're doing is we're just setting up the different screens that we want to set up. And the first one it'll land on is the login page. So if we save this right here, and let me actually go to the login page, and I'll say I'm on the login page right here. And I'm also going to double check something here. So let me, right here on the login, I'll just add this button just so we know that it's working. And we're going to do an on press because it is Expo, we have to do on press now. And we have to deal with the navigation. And we're navigating to the camera. And make sure we are importing the button at the top as well. I'll also import React from React. So let's save this and let's start our application right now. So I'm going to start this application right here. I'll just do Expo start. And I'll push A to start it with Android here. So let me just check here, make sure everything is saved. Refresh, reload the app. Okay, so it looks like it has one error. Let me just double check what needs to be installed here. Okay, let me try running that long command line again here. I'll be posting these commands in the README file. Now we also have to add this one other Now we also have to add this one other command line to install. So it's this React Navigation. We just need to install it. I'm just going to try running it with clearing the cache. So let me see if this one -c. And I'm going to open it up with Android, the simulator again. I'm just going to hit R to see if it's just lagging right now and see if it reloads. It'll help it. So we still have that issue. Okay, I see here. So let's go back here. So we just misspelled, it has to be a dash, not a 0 there. So let's try rerunning that again here. And it looks like now we just have to do something with the React Navigation stack. So let me just see what I need to install here. Alright, so it looks like I just need to install the stack right here. So let me add this to the README file. And I'll add this to the notes as well, so we just have to install the stack as well. Since I used npm before, I'll just put npm here as well, so it's just consistent. And now I'm just installing the stack right here. Alright, so I'm just going to start the application again. And then I'll just start it with my Android simulator. So you can see right here we got the application started now. We have the Go to Details button. If we go to the login page, it says Go to Details. So it says, hello, I am on the login page. So if we click on the button right here, you can see here now we are on the actual camera page where it says, hello, I am on the camera page. So this is how you set up the navigation for the Expo app.